Hello everyone. Today I'm making this video to introduce exactly how to detail a space using 5D Plus. Here we have a really cute model by Cowhoo Tree, which is a flower shop with both a front and a back lobby. In this specific space, there are many items just like these. Now I'm going to detail the interior room, and here is exactly how I do it. If you have a model like this one, simply open up 5D. Instead of clicking Create Scene, I'm going to select the object first because I want to detail a specific item. I want to provide a comprehensive detail of every single item in this room. Like this, I select the items in the room. Then I go ahead and click on the Create Scene button. Next, I'll create the section scenes. For each part here, we deselect it. Then we only create the section scenes, meaning we'll look from 4 different directions all around. Then we'll create a ceiling plan scene, looking straight up. Now, when we click one click, a brand new option appears. Here, we'll choose the scene type as detail. Now, an important thing is that we won't separate the scenes by each object. Be sure to uncheck that. We also won't hide the surroundings, meaning we want to keep everything, walls, floors, and ceilings, ensuring that we keep every one of them visible. We'll use the items as the center for detailing. Then we simply place them right into this area here. This is the offset for the section line, so you can click right here for more instructions. Here, let me explain what this vertical 300 section line does. It'll move the section line vertically, shifting it up or down along the vertical axis. And this is the horizontal section, which moves the section line up and down horizontally. I'll just leave it at the default settings. Next, I click OK. Immediately, we have 6 scenes created. Let's take a look. This is the ceiling here. Open up the section and then open up all of the individual holes. All of the sections are already named right here, and you can cut them just like this. You see, there's section 2 like this, section 3 like that, and section 4 over here, which includes the architecture and the ceiling segment. There are already 6 of these available for a highly detailed development and design process, and you can see that it automatically wraps around the previously selected object. Now, to make it much more precise, you can adjust the bounding area of the object by going into the View Options menu, selecting Display Bound, and then choosing the Scene Display option. Okay, you can clearly see the area you selected for the object is right here. Now, if you want to adjust it further, you just need to grab and drag it out to cover this entire room. The main purpose is to get exactly the specific area you want to develop, and to ensure that the grid lines or elevation grids are perfectly accurate. Now, if I want to drag it up here, I just simply drag it up here. This is the boundary area of the scene. Okay, save it. It's already saved now. Now, if you want to copy this specific area to all the other scenes, right now this scene is named Arc. If you switch to another scene, like Scene 1, you'll see its bounding area is different, just like this. Now, if you want to copy the bounding area so it applies to every single scene, just right-click on Arc, select Copy Property, then go and select all the scenes by clicking on the Detail folder to select all scenes at once. Right-click, then paste the property. It's a bit long, so I'll choose the display bound part, meaning I'll paste the property. By the way, in this new version, there's a handy new button called Check All to select everything or deselect everything. Now I'll choose to paste, and I'll paste the display bound property specifically. Okay, that is done. Now, if you go to any scene, the display bound of that scene has already been copied, just like this. So that's the first thing to know if you want to adjust the display bound. Next, a very special feature of this new version is that you can create the section line. These are batch actions for all these scenes, so make sure to pay very close attention to these steps, everyone. This will help you work much more efficiently. I'll select the detail folder, click on this batch action, then I'll uncheck this box and choose clipping mask. There's a new option over here to create a batch action. Oh, sorry, I mean to create a batch label. I'll create a label called section mark, which is the cut point. First, I'll make this so you all can see if it works, okay? Done. You can see it draws out this marker. The view direction is 3, 4, 1, 2, 5, 6. You need to turn it on to see it clearly. Can you all see it? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this new version has a really cool feature. There's a button called Select. You click on it, and when you hover over that marker and want to see a specific view, just click on it. Move your mouse over here until it turns red, then right-click. Next, choose Go to Section Scene, which means you'll go to the scene with the view direction of marker 4. Turn it on. There, you see it? That's exactly the section marker 4. If you want to see this section 4, just right click here, select it, and then view the floor plan. So that's the first point. It's easy to view different perspectives by clicking and hovering over the section marker, then right clicking. Now, if I want to raise the section marker for this ceiling to a slightly higher position, I just need to hover the mouse over it until it turns red, then click and drag it up past the freezer and release it. Then it will ask if you want to update all the scenes affected by this section marker. Simply go ahead and click the Yes button. Then it will update. Let me show you. Section 1, Set 1 is updated, and the section marker has moved up. Set 2 has also moved up, Set 3 as well, and Set 4 too. But on the floor plan, on the regular floor plan, you won't see the section marker at all. On the ceiling plan, though, you'll see that it's been moved up automatically. That's the first thing. Now I'll go back to the floor plan and continue moving the section marker. You see, it's crossing number 1, crossing the table, which doesn't look particularly good or professional, right? So if I want to move this section marker away from the table, I just need to go to the floor plan, select number 1, carefully drag it out over here to this spot, move it away from the table, release it, and update. Now let's go check section marker number 1 to see if it's avoided the table. And you can see that the section label has also automatically moved as well. Okay, now I'm going to do a few more things before I come back to update the section markers for you. Now I'm going to create a Keurig marker. To cut Keurig, I'll turn on the Keurig session. Let's load it up. Now it's going to create the Keurig cut, and you can see this one here. Now I'm going to update everything with a batch click for all the scenes at once. Here, it's not there yet, but here, it's already there. Now I'm going to select the detail folder, right click. Oh, wait, sorry. Click on the batch action button. Then click to generate the section for the cut. Make sure to toggle this switch up, then click OK. That's it. Now it's done. Once the section has been processed, go check it right away. Here's the floor plan and the footing plan. Here, 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 here. Okay. For this footing plan, since we're using the architecture mode, all the interior items are hidden, so I'll turn on show all so you can see them. Everything will be displayed. Alright, now let's keep going with something you'll find pretty special. Now I'll continue by drawing the column grid for this floor plan. I'll draw the column grid now. Click on a column grid here. Now it says there's no data yet, so just click OK. It tells you to initialize the column grid data in building info first. When you click OK, it'll automatically open the building info panel. Here, there's a button, you're on the grid tab now. Over here is level, which is elevation, and grid is the column grid. Click to initialize the column grid, just click here. Instantly, it'll create a sample 3x3 column grid, 3 meters by 3 meters, and you click review. Then it'll move the cursor. Hover your mouse over this pink button, click here, move it right up close here. All right, it's done. It's already full. Then just drag this over here. That's it. But you need to grab the column grid on this side first. Click here, then drag it over here. Next, move your mouse over here, and that's it. Once you're satisfied with the column grid, click here to save it, okay? Next, to select this column grid in the floor plan, just click on it like this. Here, there are some options so you can explore and learn about them yourself. There are a few options. All right, that's good. Now, we've got the column grid, but I don't think the arrows look nice, so I'm going to change them. I'll pick a different style of arrow, something else. I like the dot arrow style. Now that there is some actual text, it's brand new. If there's no text, it's passive. That is all we have for the time being, okay? Everything is set, okay? Let's go ahead and redraw this path, okay? Redraw this grid by clicking right here. Okay, that's done. So just like this, we have successfully created the column grid within the floor plan. Next, I really want to talk about another feature, which is actually a brand new feature. It is the grid that creates a mask. Now, in the mask section, there is a new feature, which is, well, it has a specific radius, a rounded corner radius. I will just enter 100 here, 100. If you don't happen to know what this panel means, you can simply click on the guide. Click right here, and it will open the guide for you. There are 3 pages in total, and I will explain. This is a mask that uses a cutout, which basically means it cuts out the area. And this is a mask without a cutout. Here, I am explaining the exact meaning of the parameters. Let's continue to the next page. So this is the main new point in version 2.1.0. Wherever there is a guide, you will see a button with a little hat icon down here. Just click it, and it will open this whole thing up. Depending on the dialog box, for example, if you click on column grid here and you click here, it will open the guide about creating grid lines, like this. I explain what the offset means here, what this dimension means, where the offset is measured from, and what happens when you click this button. If you see that there are a variety of different pages, there will be arrows for you to click through and switch pages, and this content will be updated automatically. If you see this button, you can simply click on this specific button, and when you do, the content will update, and you can get the latest content without needing to update the plugin yourself. Now, I'll go back to the part about creating a mask. Click right here for the mask, then click OK. Now, I'll enter the value of 100, 100 here, and I'll save this as the default so that next time I use it, it will use this selection. Click OK, and you'll see it's just like before, but now there's an added rounded corner here. Now, here's something brand new. There's a new style. You just need to click on Custom Setting, then click on Style, and you'll see 2 new styles appear, named CHSL. This stands for Color Hidden Section Light, which means hiding the cut lines in color mode, and White Hidden Section Light, which means hiding the cut lines in black and white mode. By default, if you don't display it, absolutely nothing at all will show up on your screen. If you want it to show, just drag it up here. Drag it up here, and now there are 5 buttons here, so it will display 5 buttons. If you click here, it will hide some of the lines. Move the black color down here. Okay, go ahead and do it twice right here, then save it. If you have multiple boxes and want to change the color, just click right here, tap, tap, tap like this, tap here, then save it. Now, these 2 buttons are here. What exactly do these 2 buttons do? Now, the letter C stands for color. Click here, and you see the outer part disappears. If you leave it as usual, you see this black line? That's the default line in SketchUp. It's always on top and can't be hidden. Look here, this line is the default line. Then I draw a cutting plane, a masking plane, and place it on top to cover everything underneath. That way it covers much better. But with this particular case, if I move the masking plane above this line to cover it, the line disappears because it's above the cut mark. So for this line, I have to use a little trick and create a style. Then I adjust the SketchUp cut line to be white, matching the background color perfectly. Now when I click here, it disappears because it's white, not because it's on. It was black and I changed it to white. See? This is a workaround, not perfect, guys. See, when you switch back, it's black and white, and the cut line is white. If you choose C, then the cut line is white, which is acceptable, just okay. Why? Because in some parts, the white cut mark overlaps with the object's line, so it doesn't look bad at all. So this is how you can create a screen that hides the surroundings for section and elevation cuts. It's super easy. Now about the axis. See, the axis? Why is the axis? Grid number 3 was drawn because earlier, when I drew the grid axis, I did not choose synbow, I chose grid bow. Grid bow means the boundary of the grid, so the boundary of the grid always includes the entire grid. When you want to draw the full grid, you should choose Grid Bow. But if you want to limit the boundary, if you go by the scene, you select Scene Bound. At this point, it'll only draw axis number 1 and axis number 2. Okay? See? Axis number 3 has disappeared, right? And here, it notifies you that the grid axes have been drawn. However, only a part of the grid is drawn because of the grid boundary, the display of the grid axes. If you're curious about where the display area is, click here. Then, when you select Scene Bound, you'll see that it's because this is located here, so only the axes within this boundary are drawn. That's the meaning of the grid boundary. It's right here, and I allow you to choose 2 types of boundaries, by scene or by grid. You can also adjust it as you like. If you want, you can set it to only 1, but just leave it as default for now. So we've created a style like this. Now I'll apply it in bulk to the remaining scenes. Look, this scene is like this, and this scene is like this. See? Post it like this, drop it like this. All right, now I'm going to do it in bulk. Now I'll click on this detail folder. Then I'll process them in bulk. I've already created the song. I will create it again. So now, what am I going to create? Create the grid axes. Create the elevation bed. There you go. Create the labels now so you don't have to do it again later. Once you're done creating, okay? Then create the clipping task. Then you apply the style as well. The style is color hidden section line right here. All right. After that, you'll click the OK button. If you want to change the scale, you can set it to 1 to 25. This is at 1 to 50, which looks a bit big, so just set it to 1 to 25. A range from 1 to 50 works just as well, and that's perfectly fine. All right, so the result you see here is, first, we have this section list. It's been drawn and it's hidden right here. You can see this is the full version, and this is the color mode. In black and white, it looks like this. The elevation grid has also been drawn. Now, you can clearly see the drawback here. When your line overlaps with the cut mark like this, see, when they overlap, the white color will cover up the black line because it's in front, so it covers it up completely. This is definitely one of its disadvantages. So to fix this issue, I'll just draw the elevation grid on one side, draw it on this side, and then I'll hit OK. It draws on one side, and there's another new point I want you to know. When drawing the elevation grid, we have an additional option to show or hide the floor names. If we hide them, it will only display the elevation names. That's it. Now I see that these column grid lines are drawn too wide because they're using a default property, a default setting. To fix this and to make batch adjustments, first you should draw the elevation grid for this view, then adjust the offset. Set the offset to a smaller value, like just 500 for example. If you want to display the overall dimension line, that's up to you. Click OK here, but you have to click here to save it. By default, it's set to no OK. You see that? The 500 by 500 measurement is calculated from this edge to this edge. If you don't need instructions, I'll reopen the guide for you. Look here. The 2000 part is measured from the boundary line, see, from the boundary line to the bottom of the round shadow shape. Now I'll adjust this a bit to make it larger, then save it as the default. Okay, now it's set as the default, so at this point, I'll adjust this cut mark as well. Should I? It's Friday, so let's just adjust it. Adjust the cut mark, set the default to 1200, set it as the new default. Okay, it's updated now. Now I'm going to do a batch action. Update everything again, click here, deselect everything, then recreate this cut mark label, recreate the end of the column, and remove this one. Okay. All right, that is all done. Now you can clearly see. It looks pretty good. Next, let's move right along. Now, I'm going to do something that I mentioned a bit earlier. Now, before I do that, I'm going to take care of things like labeling and marking the objects, okay? So now I'll select the object, open it up, select this table, select this freezer cabinet, this shelf, and then I'll select all these shelves. Once that's done, I'll turn on the label. I'll choose furniture label here to label it, all right? Now here's an improvement, guys. So this number here, it means shifting outwards or inwards. So if you enter a positive number, the label will move to this side. If you enter a negative number, it will move inward. The same applies for other directions, okay? A positive number shifts it outward, and a negative number shifts it inward, like this. Now I'll set it to the center of all the objects, then click OK. If you're curious, you can click here. Click here. I'll explain this later. If you see a tutorial button here in the future, that's where the guide will be. But since I haven't made it yet, it's not there, okay? So right away, you can see the label is placed in this position. Here's something new you might not know. If you haven't used our tool before, you might not realize that the Select button lets you double-click directly on the label to edit its information. And when you edit the information, it doesn't just change the label, it also updates the object's information. So you only need to edit it here. Click here, then name it, for example, TA for table, then double-click here for shelf. Shelf is S1, like that. Shelf 2 is S2, and this one is the freezer. So M for machine, like that, M1. This is how you can change the object's information. You can also click and drag to move the object to a position that's easier for you to see. In a very similar way, you can select an object by clicking right here, or you can utilize this specific tool over here. For now, just select it as you usually would. Select the store, then I'll select the label for it, mark the door on the label, and set it to the center as well. Okay, done. You see? I'll use the Select tool, click and drag it out here to make it look a bit nicer, then double-click to edit it. This one is the label D2. D2 is already there, so as you can see right here, let's make this one D3. All right, D3 is finished up now too, okay? And now for D4. Okay, not very nice. Let's move it a bit to clear the mark. Here we go. Now it's pretty much all finished up. All right, now it's looking solid. Now I'll switch over to the section view and mark these. Let's move on to cut mark number 3, okay? Select this tool, click here, right click, and now the cut mark appears. Now I'll select the door, okay? Here, this shape tool can be selected from outside the wall. Select this door. See, it's a bit buggy for me. It's acting up right now. I'll select here, click this, then this. Now, this door already has this information, but if I change it to D3, then for sure it will become D3, okay? Remove this. All right, D4, then do the same, okay? Open up these objects, select this one, select this one, select this one, select the table, then click on the objects and remove the elevation symbol in the middle, okay? Now, let's put it on the roof, just the roof. Click here to set it, okay? It's here, but it's still on the roof. If you want to move it up a bit, just click on it. Now move it to 200 or 300, okay? Move it up there, above the roof. Move everything to 300 like this. After that, use the Select tool, grab this, and drag it to the correct position here. If you can't see S2, just select and delete it. Right now it's a bit buggy for me, so it's deleting, it's selecting, it's actually a bit buggy. There's a bug here, you see? It's not done yet. This one needs to be put right here. Okay, and this one, it's still here. Now comes the interesting part, updating the section. How do we update it? Let's try updating the floor plan, okay? With the architectural plan, you'll see what happens. Now, I want to move section marker number 5 on the floor plan above the cabinet. Here, let's look at section marker number 5. The floor plan currently shows the cabinet like this. Now, I'm going to move it up above the cabinet, call up number 3 again, grab number 5, and drag it up above the cabinet and release it. Then you'll see that the section marker updates across all the scenes. See, number 5 and 6 have moved up. At the same time, when you look at number 5, you'll notice that not only the cut line, but also all the grid labels and axes, all the symbols move along automatically, shifting as you move the section marker. That's the new feature of this version. Now, I'll continue by moving number 3 away from the table. I'll drag number 3 over here. Please update accordingly. Done. Now look at number 3. See? All the symbols we set up earlier for number 3 have automatically moved outside as well. So, is there anything else? All right, I'll stop the clip here so you guys can catch up on the new features I've updated for version 201.0. Right now, I'm working hard to finish the remaining parts and will try to release them before the Lunar New Year test. So after the test, you'll have tools to play around with. Okay, everyone, bye-bye, and thanks for watching up to this point. Bye-bye.